listen to your authorities, listen to your leaders, listen to your government, and don't question anything. If something doesn't add up, if something doesn't make sense, just ignore it. Don't question it. That's the route that America wants us to go. That's the route that big tech wants us to go. Because this jab, this shot, whatever you want to call it, I'm not going to use the word because I got a YouTube strike a little bit ago for talking about it, which is strange enough, and that should show you that there's something bigger at play and there's an end game to all of this. But you aren't allowed to make your independent decisions anymore. Let's move over here, excuse me, to the New York Post. Nationals Vice President Bob Boone, father of Yankees manager, resigns over vaccine mandate. Respect levels just skyrocketed, all right? If you go onto Instagram, if you go onto Twitter, if you go onto Facebook and look at ESPN's post, everyone is commenting, oh, why couldn't he just get the jab? Why couldn't he just get the shot? It's much easier to just go get in line and get the shot. And they're right. It is much easier to go get in line and get the shot. And that's why I have respect for him, because he did the hard thing. He's standing up for his beliefs. He's standing up for his core values. He's not going to get something that he does not want to get. He does not want to get something injected into his body. And we live in a free state, a free nation, so he can do that. Let's move on. Washington Nationals Vice President Bob Boone has informed the club he's resigning rather than complying with the organization's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. A person with knowledge of the situation said. And did I not say earlier this summer that these sports leagues were going to be coming with these mandates hard? Think about it. Think about it for a second. These are 20 to 30-year-olds, a few 40-year-olds, who are in peak condition, the best athletes in the world. Their immune systems are in very good shape. These are humans who are in peak condition, healthier than any other human, healthier than me, healthier than maybe anyone watching this video. It's just a true fact. But we're forcing these vaccine mandates because it's part of a bigger agenda. It's part of the shut up and listen to government agenda. Let's move over here just for 1 second. It's kind of off topic. Unvaccinated Knicks, Nets, Warriors players will have to sit out home games, NBA memo says. So if you live in New York or San Francisco or California and you're an NBA player, you can't work. You can't get your paycheck for home games. Where does it end? I've asked that question multiple times. Where does it end? And it doesn't end. This is what totalitarianism is. This is what socialism is. And it comes slowly. It creeps in. They make it seem like, oh, well, just wear a mask for 2 weeks to slow the spread. Well, that was a year and a half ago. Now, just get the vaccine to slow the spread. Get the vaccine to save lives. Well, what happens when, in my situation, I had a coworker this summer who was fully jabbed, fully vaccinated, and they got the virus and felt the full side effects and had the full effect. All right? What happens to all the people who, in the NFL, we are seeing breakthrough cases, multiple breakthrough cases? Bill Belichick just addressed it, and the media was stunned. The NFL was stunned because Bill Belichick does not care. He has his, excuse me, Bill Belichick has his own opinions, his own way of thinking, and he does not care about the media. He does not care about the press. Bill Belichick sees that this vaccine does not make you foolproof, all right? So let's go back over here to the Washington Post. ESPN also did an article about this. Washington Nationals VP Bob Boone resigns over team's COVID-19 vaccine requirement. Source says, why are we requiring this? I'm surprised that there's not so many lawsuits, so many settlements, so many just people suing their working places, their employers, just because this vaccine mandate, it's not right. It's really not right. It says it's saving lives. They say it's for the protection of other people, but you can still contract the virus. You can still spread the virus. You can still feel the virus. What's the point? There's an Israeli study coming out that's saying, hey, maybe natural immunity is better, but nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that this vaccine this jab, is having some side effects in some people. It is making some people kind of sick, all right? It's having some negative effects on people. Just look it up because the media does not want you to see it. The media is so corrupt. The media hides stuff. The media, it's all part of their game. And people who just sit on Twitter, sit on Facebook, sit on Instagram all day, they've fallen victim to it. Many adults have fallen victim to it. Many people on the other end of the spectrum politically have fallen victim to it because for so long we've just trusted the government, all right? We trust that the CDC does what we want. We trust that the WIH or WHI, they do what we want. They have what's in our best interest, But as we've learned from from this and from other sports leagues, it's not going to end. This mandate, it's not going to end. This virus madness, it's not going to end. We're forcing kids in schools to wear masks. It's all leading towards something that they're just regulating it. They want us to comply. They want us to not go outside. They want us to, if you're unjabbed, don't travel over the holiday weekend. It's been a year and a half. I think people are going to travel, all right? Ridiculousness. As a company, we have a responsibility to do everything we can to keep one another safe, and felt that mandating vaccines was the absolute right thing to do for our employees and community, the team said in a statement that was originally released last week. Ridiculous. So all of a sudden, you see what I mean? All right, this is from the New York Post. They word this very strategically. Where is it? To keep one another safe, and felt that mandating the vaccine was the absolute right thing to do for our employees and our community. So they make it seem like if you're getting the jab, that you're keeping yourself and others safe. So automatically, if you don't get it, you're not keeping yourself safe, and you're not keeping others safe. When clearly the numbers do not prove that. The numbers point in the opposite direction. There's some reports coming out that saying maybe this jab has about 40% effectiveness versus the new variants. And by the way, let me just type in this real quick. Wu variant. Oh, would you look at that, a new variant. All right, if that gets any bigger, I'll cover that in the coming days. But not like I predicted it, not like I said that was coming forever ago. But the disgrace continues, the destruction of professional sports over wokeness, over these mandates, it fully continues because they will not stop. They will not stop. They just said all NBA players have to be jabbed. If you're within 15 feet of the NBA players, you have to be jabbed. I cannot wait until the NFL has a star player miss a game and they're fully jabbed. What are they going to do? Because their whole rhetoric, their whole way of thinking is just going to be flipped on its head, all right? Most of America sees this, but there's still millions and millions and a large amount of people that don't. All right, we have to stop listening to the media, and we have to start doing what Bob Boone is doing. We have to stand up for our morals, stand up for what we believe in, all right? Even if the media hates us, even if the news outlets hates us, who cares, all right? This is what America is built off of, individualism and making free, independent opinions based on yourself, all right? Making opinions that your workers don't have, or your employers don't have a say in. Making opinions that your coworkers don't have a say in. Making opinions that your family and friends don't have a say in, because at the end of the day, he's a grown American adult who's making his own decision, all right, for his own health. If he doesn't want this in his body, he doesn't have to get this in about his body, all right? He can consult with his medical experts. But the mandates, they got to stop, because if they don't stop, they're going to keep coming and they will never stop.